I just, I'm going to come right out and make a statement here. I'm seeing Andrew Heaney signing a 1-year, $8.5 million contract with the LA Dodgers. Now, I don't know about you, Cere, but this gets me thinking that all I need to do is basically get my 10-year-old to use his left arm to throw a baseball, maybe 88 miles an hour, maybe hit corners, but basically get hammered by leaving balls out in the middle of the plate, and he too can be a multi-millionaire for a year in a big market like LA. Jokes aside here, Nick. Listen, I see Corey Kluber signing for 1 year, $8 million with the Rays. That's a head scratcher. Where were the Yankees on that?
That's terrible.
Where were they?
It's criminal negligence that you allow somebody who threw a no-hitter for you and gave you quality starts at the end of the season to not just any team, but to your rival for $500,000 less than Andrew Heaney got, right? You can't afford that? You can't afford that. You're the New York Yankees.
That's a head scratcher. Clint Frazier, I mean, God bless the kid. I hope he finds success somewhere. I think that's a non-issue. Roogie Odor, all right, $600,000 with the Orioles.
I think that's a steal.
I love it.
You know what he is?
Really cheap.
He's actually a better pitcher assistant than he is a second baseman. Like, he's out there talking, and I mean, think about the Yankees. When he would go out there and talk to somebody like Nestor, or even what's his name when he was here, he got traded away.
Mr. Cere, what you're talking about right now are intangibles.
He's got the intangibles.
Yeah.
They send Matt Blake out there. He's like, all right, do this. But what Roogie brings is what Alex Cora brings to the Red Sox when he goes out there.
And you don't want to get on his bad side because he'll just uncork a left, right? Yeah, I mean, he'll pop you in the jaw.
That's right.
Roogie Odor.
Yep.
Jose Bautista, anyone?
Tell you one thing, Rugna didn't waste any time getting a few swings in on Bautista either. Bautista might be hurt. He could be. Rugna popped him real good. He picked the wrong guy to slide into second base hard on.
Right, Andrew Heaney. I mean, I almost fell out of my chair when I saw that.
I don't even understand what the Dodgers are going for there.
They want to find the next Robbie Ray.
Yeah.
They think he's a possibility.
Robbie Ray throws 98 miles an hour, Cere. I don't think Andrew Heaney ever threw.
Yeah, but
92.
Andrew Heaney's only 2 years removed from a really darn good season. Top 10 starter in the league.
Top what?
2019.
Top what?
In terms of performance.
Top what?
2019, top 10. Performance.
Fact check.
Yeah, all right.
Fact check.
Fact check.
Fact check. Morgan.
Andrew Heaney. Okay, so Cere's going top 10 pitcher. What'd you say?
The
top
number's
10?
made up, but he was really good in 2019.
Okay, right. No need to fact check. Cere's talking out of his backside. Got it. Darren O'Day.
I think Darren O'Day was criminal negligence too. They're going to have such holes in their bullpen, and Darren O'Day, when he was healthy, which obviously is a big if, he was really valuable.
It's not even like the Braves are giving him anything. He got a minor league deal.
I don't know how does that
What
work.
does he
Nick?
need? So minor league deal.
He would take a 40-man roster spot.
Yeah. If
Wow.
they're gonna give him a 40-man.
Then you can't do it because I'm looking at the kids that they had to protect, and to every single one of them. You know, who did we let go? We let get away from us last year that the Red Sox ended up signing, and it like chafed Cashman.
Garrett Whitlock, right?
Yeah, Whitlock.
Whitlock.
Determined not to get. I think we can now use it as a verb, Cere. Cashman was determined not to get Whitlocked.
There we go.
Okay, there we go. So that explains why he protected some of the people that he protected.
Really quick. You said 2019, Andrew Heaney?
Yeah, 2018 to 2020, Andrew Heaney.
Oh, 2018 to 2020.
It's interesting how he starts changing the
He
parameters.
grinds for like a 4 WAR. That's not bad at all.
Right.
That's top 10. Oh wait, no, it's not.
But Yankee standards 4.91 ERA in 2019.
Mm-hmm.
He went 4-6. If you go 2018 to 2020, he was 17-19, 342 innings, 168 earned runs, 56 homers given up, 99 ERA plus.
That sounds like top 65.
Yeah, 1.231 WHIP.
Once again, podcast listeners, my son's 10. Now he's a righty, but if I can just get him to start breaking some breaking balls with his left arm, I'm seeing multi-million-dollar contracts in about 15 years. Just saying. Cere, why don't you take the next one?
Sorry, I'm stuck on Andrew Heaney's stats. Let me in Cere, I'm telling you right now, it's less about what his value brings and what I think this really shows, that they took the time to give him a minor league contract. I think we've seen the last of Brett Gardner.
That's what I was just going to ask, too.
I think Edgar Inciarte is your backup center fielder, the exact role that Brett Gardner would have filled, which they've had him fill for the last 4 years, and then he ends up playing 150 games every season.
Exactly.
But that's who Edgar Inciarte is. So I don't know what that bodes for Brett Gardner, but if I had to guess, I'd say it bodes him not being on the Yankees this year.
And Inciarte, 2021 with the Braves, very small sample size, 89 plate appearances, 52 games. He hit .215 with 2 homers, 10 RBIs, a stolen base thrown in there, 592 OPS. OPS plus was at 55, but again, small sample size. His last full season or close to it was 46 out of 60 games in 2020 with the Braves again there. He hit 190 in 116 at-bats.
Yeah, his stats don't blow you away. That's why Cashman signed him.
Personally, I still think Cashman finds a way to get Gardner in there on like a $2 or $3 million deal. So if we're gonna spend, we're gonna spend. Bring back the veteran.
Nick, give me some stats on Sweaty Brett. How old is he? 37?
Brett Gardner.
37, probably going on 38 now.
Yeah, he's there was, as I'm bringing this up here, there was, I believe, some sort of interaction with him and Cashman where they settled on the fact that nothing's gonna get done until like close to spring training. Like Gardner said, I want to take my time. You know, I want to enjoy the off season and pick up with negotiations later. Gardner is 38 years old.
Well, listen, you know, Cere's a big fan of intangibles, and Brett Gardner,
He's got it.
he's got intangibles. He's a clubhouse guy. He's a character guy. What was our motto in 2018? What was our motto?
Put the bat to the roof.
Yeah, let Brett bang. Something
Oh,
like that.
let Brett
There was
bang.
let Brett bang.
Yeah.
Right.
No, there was a come on, you two. There was a motto that we had that was it was a soundbite from Boom.
Oh, yeah. Can't repeat that on the podcast.
Well, you can't repeat it on the podcast, but he called Savages.
Savages
right?
in the box.
Savages,
Okay,
that's all.
there we go.
Savages
there we
in
go.
the box, baby.
Okay.
Savages
I
in
got
the
a
box.
t-shirt.
My boys are savages up there.
Yeah.
Who did that originate? I mean, that's all Sweaty Brett Gardner. So
Brett.
I'm with you.
Listen,
Bring it back.
I think Brett Gardner has such value beyond his stats.
What did we pay Gardner last year?
I believe it was like 2-3 million.
Yeah, I was going to say 3.
It was
Please.
very, yeah.
That's literally penny.
It was pocket change.
The New York Mets are paying more money to Bobby Bonilla next year, so you should just give it to Brett.
Hal Steinbrenner goes into his car and he accidentally drops $3 million on the sidewalk before he gets in. He doesn't even
He
realize
could find that in his seat cushion.
He doesn't even realize it.
Give it to Brett Gardner. All right, Domingo Germán. Say what you will about his character.
I think he's a valuable pitcher at 1.75.
He is the opposite of a Brett Gardner in terms of character.
Right.
Maybe he's working on it. I like to think that we can all change for the better. But 1.75, I mean, that's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
No-brainer.
No, yeah, you can't. I mean, half of these arbitration numbers, I mean, people like Gio at 6.5. Now he had a down year, but still, just his value defensively is enough to
Yeah.
net 6.5.
Yeah, no, that's great. And
Especially if they start him
Licky,
at shortstop.
lefty, yeah,
Yeah.
great.
Oh, Licky's a stud.
Yeah.
I'm
Licky-
not sure I'd say stud.
No, he's a
Well,
stud. Deep down.
Coming out of the Penn Force, big games last year.
Licky's gonna be like our 4th reliever.
Yeah, he's
in
got
terms of
upside.
importance.
905,000 too.
Graham Lloyd-esque. There you go. You don't mind that, Cere. A little before your time there, man. Dropping some Graham Lloyd on you. Right. So, yeah, talk to me. Did I hear this from you or did I dream this? That the player to be named later in the Tyler Wade / Velasquez deal, is Velasquez coming back like Boomerang?
So we did talk about this. It was so the Yankees DFA players this winter were Odor, who got picked up by the Orioles, Frazier, who got signed by the Cubs, and then Tyler Wade. Yeah, he got claimed off waivers by the Angels, and then that was like right after Velasquez left us.
Right.
To go over.
Which seems strange that the Angels would want a Tyler Wade, a Velasquez, who's their slap hitting second baseman over there?
David Fletcher.
Yeah,
Fletcher.
Yeah. Fletcher's good
Who's their
too.
shortstop now?
Well,
Simmons.
good point.
Simmons.
It's going to be Tyler Wade, I guess,
It's gonna be Tyler Wade.
or Velasquez. But is there any merit to this idea that Velasquez is coming back?
I thought it was Mike Trout.
Shohei Ohtani or Mike Trout we found in there. Hey, I would take a David Fletcher in return for that, but no.
Yeah, there's no way.
It doesn't make sense to see them scoop up both Velasquez and Wade, unless they're thinking Wade more of like just the utility role that he has and the potential he has that they can use him outside of shortstop. But I don't know if you're the Angels.
Velasquez is your shortstop.
Yeah, because I think they're trying to save money at this point. They are going to owe Shohei Ohtani a lot of money next year. So if they wanted to go a cheap route and they keep Velasquez and Wade, good for them. But I think Velasquez coming back to the Yankees, coming back to the Bronx next year would be nice in return for that. I don't know if this is kind of like
I know this isn't an Angels podcast, but I mean, I like Velasquez and I like Wade as bench players. If you go into a season with those two guys, as one of them being your starting shortstop, us Yankee fans are really, really lucky that we complain about the things we have to complain about.
Right.
Well, since we're talking Angels and we're talking Mr. Cere, he also likes, very much so, Jason Junk. Big fan of Junk.
Big Junk. Was losing Junk worth Andrew Heaney coming over? Maybe, maybe not.
Well, it was, because all Andrew Heaney had to do for Heaney was, all he had to do was pitch terribly for the Yankees, and he just got into an $8.5 million contract.
He did have when he pitched an 8-inning game against Boston towards the end there, he had some value. He did. Don't get me wrong. Absolutely terrible. But he had his moments.
No way did he have a positive WAR with us. There's no way.
No, he had a -0.1 or
there you go.
something like that.
There you go.
But I'm saying that game alone, he would have had a -0.7, but the game added 0.6.
Which, how much of that plays into just Boone bringing him in terrible situations, though, too? Like, I don't know. Aaron Boone said, we're going to let him figure things out. We're not going to use him right away. Next game, they bring him in, high-leverage opportunity.
Sometimes
and he blows it.
You got to step up when your name's called.
Yeah.
And Andrew Heaney didn't do that. Can we talk about Donnie Sands, Nick Nelson, and Joel Valdez and T.J. Rumfield? I know nothing about these guys.
Sands and Nelson got traded away.
Yeah, Sands and Nelson went to the Phillies in exchange
You remember
for...
Nelson? He was only slightly better than Andrew Heaney.
Yeah, pretty much. Yankees,
I don't remember Nelson.
Yankees
blonde,
Twitter...
50-something?
Yeah, Yankees Twitter was ecstatic when this guy left. Nick Nelson, I'll bring him up really quick here, stat-wise, this past season. He was just kind of a guy that we had in the bullpen.
He was just
to
a guy.
waste innings.
Inning filler?
Yeah.
Yeah, but bad. Really bad at filling. Like, you would remember him if you saw him. He's like number 50-something. He was blonde. He's like, got a strong stature, but he would go in and just be awful. At the beginning of the year, they tried to use him as like the opener.
Why are we trading away catcher prospects when we don't have a decent catcher?
Well, Sands is not much of a prospect. He's older than, right?
Sands played a lot of time in Double-A Somerset. Good hitter. Now he was above average as a hitter at Double-A. I don't know what that's going to carry into, if he does get the call. But also the Phillies, why do they need a catcher prospect at the moment when they have Yamamoto? So I think just because remember Donnie Sands was one of those guys that Cashman called up to the 40-man after all the DFAs happened. So he was protecting him from the Rule 5. Once we didn't lose him the Rule 5, they said, okay, we'll trade Sands away because we need that 40-man spot for hopefully some big free agent moves that have yet to happen and won't happen for a while.
So are Valdez and Rumfield even worth talking about?
Hopefully Valdez can give you innings, and that's what you ask for.
Yeah.
Innings without completely demolishing, a good start or something. But
Yeah.
I don't think he's anything too much to write home about. But the Yankees catching prospect, I think they don't mind losing Donnie Sands because they have Austin Wells coming up. And
Yeah.
Austin Wells is supposed to be an absolute monster. He's been hitting like crazy in the fall league. Wasn't he like fall league MVP or something?
I believe so.
Yeah.
He's
the hope. He's the hope that one day
Austin Wells, 6th ranked Yankees prospect. He's at last level played was Class A advanced. ETA is 2023, 6'2", 220. Let's take a look at some stats here. Ooh, he's a lefty too.
No, he's
Hits lefty.
I'm excited about him. I'm as excited about him as Dominguez, because we haven't had a catcher.
Here's a little
since the summer.
blurb on Austin Wells. In between, he won the Pac-12 Conference Freshman of the Year, Cape Cod League Prospect of the Year awards in 2019. hit .357 in 2 seasons in the Arizona Fall League. Didn't have any instructional league program, so he didn't participate, blah, 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 blah. All right. They believe he can add enough polish to stay behind the plate, but scouts outside the organization believe he'll follow the Kyle Schwarber path and wind up in left field or first base. He runs well enough to handle the outfield. Could next. Okay. Interesting. Austin Wells. Good to know. I'm just now realizing that the Yankees have, in their top 7, 3 of them are shortstops.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Peraza and Volpe. I mean, that's why I don't agree with the Correa. The idea that we should sign Correa for 10 years. I disagree with that.
Yeah.
I'm much happier if we can get Trevor Story to agree to a prove-it deal.
Is Peraza going to start in the majors for us?
That's possible. If they don't sign Trevor Story to a 1-year prove-it deal, then Peraza probably will be our starter.
There is a chance that he gets the nod, if not probably on opening day per se.
Nick, you got to see Peraza quite a bit.
I did.
At
Peraza was a sight in Somerset. Yeah, he was great.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
Oswald and Oswaldo.
Yeah,
Couple games I went
it
to.
threw me off for a while. Let me tell you, I was working there.
294,
Yeah.
12 homers, 40 ribs. I don't like his strikeout to walk ratio. 82
Well, as
strikeouts.
a Yankees fan, you're going to have to get
Right.
used to that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But 20 bags he swiped.
No, again, it's not his offense that they were worried about in terms of bringing him up. They were worried about his defense. But Cashman recently said that he believes that Peraza's.
Scouts give him a 60 grade for fielding. That's a huge
That is a
grade.
big
Yeah.
And 60 for arm.
Which after Torres, really anything is an improvement right now.
I mean, right now, if you look at the projected depth chart, they have Urshela starting at short. And
Right.
I absolutely despise that concept. Because not only, you have one of the best defensive third basemen in the league, and you're moving him off that position.
Listen, they're going to see how Volpe and Peraza hit this spring, if we have a spring.
If there's a spring. So you don't think they even attempt to sign
I
Story?
think Peraza might be our starting shortstop as a 21-year-old. Now that I'm looking at this, I think it might happen. He got last year 115 games under his belt. Unfortunately, he only got 8 at Scranton. No.
Yeah, that was like tail end of the season.
Yeah.
Like Double A was done, they promoted him up so he
Well,
can
'cause
continue to
the
play.
Yankees had so many guys in Scranton all year.
Yeah.
Who's the kid that played short for the Angels for the last few years? He's still a free agent.
Simmons.
Simmons. That's what
Yeah.
we're gonna end up signing probably. A 1-year deal.
That's
Yeah.
if you're gonna sign that to me, if you're gonna sign Simmons, just start Peraza. Because Simmons, what was he? He had a 55
I think he
WRC
hit-
plus.
I think
Yeah,
he had
but you don't
220.
want Peraza coming up when he's not ready and having his confidence dashed.
Do I want a 55 WRC plus?
Well, for $5 million,
I can
or do
do-
you want to throw a $280 million contract at Carlos Correa?
No, that's exact. I don't want Correa. But there's increasing speculation that Trevor Story is going to try to do a prove-it deal, a 1-year prove-it deal.
Which-
I'm interested in that.
Yeah.
Give him that 1-year prove-it deal. Give Peraza some time in Scranton. Maybe come up halfway through the year as your backup shortstop. Get him some games, and then you can decide if Trevor Story lights it up. Give him a long-term contract, but chances are we won't do that, and we'll just move on with Peraza and then Volpe.
And Story's market is diminishing a lot.
Yeah.
Once the Rangers signed both Semien and Cere, which I thought was absolutely absurd.
To win 70 games.
Right, yeah, to not even finish probably third in their division. But I think the shortstop market right now, I know Rosenthal was saying at one point, it's like, it's going to be the Yankees, the Red Sox, maybe the Angels. And the Dodgers were still in on Seager, even though they have Trey Turner. So if it's down to those 4 teams, market-wise, money-wise, Seager's going to one of them. You would think, unless he signs with a team that's rebuilding. But
You mean Correa?
Sorry, yeah, correct.
Seager signed, yeah.
Yeah, but Correa's going to offer a lot to any team, but the price tag is just going to be too high.
I
for
think
most of
Correa
them.
is such a high price tag. What's he, 27, 28?
He's young.
He's young, but in 10 years at the end of that contract, he's going to be 38. And guess what? New York already has how many guys that they're going to have until they're 38. They're going to sign Judge soon. At some point, if we sign another person to a 10-year contract, we'll have, in 10 years from now, we're going to be watching the 38-year-olds just probably struggling.
Correa is just 27. He's recently 27 years old. So this will be his 27-year-old season, assuming we got a lot of baseball underway. But 2021, 279 average, 26 homers, 92 RBIs. Yeah, he was with the Houston Astros, and that team is lighting it up offensively, year in, year out. But 148 games too. He's gonna be very durable. I just don't think the Yankees need correct. I at the beginning of the winter, I was all for. You guys can both, back me up on this. I was heavy on the Carlos Correa train. I thought that was going to be our way to go.
Ridiculous, Nick. I have to say that's ridiculous because Cere and I are big character guys.
Big character.
Right.
Big
Yes,
character guys.
yes.
And he's a cheater.
And yet
then
somehow
he disrespected our Lord and Savior,
Well,
Derek Jeter.
I could get past the cheating. He was an advocate for Jose Altuve. If anything, I was saying, hey, he's a good teammate, looking after Altuve.
And also listening to the trash can bang.
Yeah, but, I could get past that once he said, what he said about Derek Jeter. That he didn't deserve the gold gloves and everything. I jumped off of it.
Switching gears a little bit, I'm noticing something here, and I'm curious what Cere has to say about this. As much as we love Gardner, I'm noticing a really interesting power bat free agent, Jacques Peterson, from the left-hand side of the plate.
I think when who was it, the Nationals that traded for him at the end of the season, or the Phillies or somebody?
Somebody got
Halfway
a
through,
shot in the arm.
somebody traded for him. I think it was the Phillies, actually. Because I don't think the Nationals would have done it. They weren't really in the playoff race. But I remember saying to my buddy, I said...
He went to the Braves, yeah.
The Braves. I
Yep.
knew it was NL East. He went to the Braves.
Yep.
And what did he do? He won a championship. I said, this Jacques Peterson guy, isn't he the perfect bat for Yankee Stadium? Right? We got Rizzo, but I was thinking the whole time, I'm like, Jacques Peterson, he's an okay player, but sometimes an okay lefty in Yankee Stadium turns into an absolute monster. And I think that's what he could have been.
Yeah.
Strawberry in his heyday was an all-star, but at the end of his career was an okay lefty, and that turned into gold.
5 championships. 4. Well, he was there for
a handful of them.
And I think Jacques Peterson, if you're going to look at Jacques Peterson, he's slightly below average in OPS. 2021 combined, he had 18 home runs, 7 with Atlanta, 11 with Chicago. The left-handed bat's definitely going to help him in Yankee Stadium. I think he's going to have some more hits there, some more home runs. But he's going to be a guy who you hope doesn't crack under pressure like maybe we saw with Gallo.
Yeah, he comes from LA, though. I mean,
he does.
I think Gallo's going to have a great season.
I'm all for Gallo bouncing back.
I really do.
Podcast listeners, you can't see the look of incredulity I just shot my 2 podcast buddies, but yeah, you can count me in the no way in heck camp that
Gallo has a good
Joey
season.
Gallo is going to have a quote-unquote good season. The guy's a career 220 hitter. He's got way too many holes in that power swing, and unless he figures something out with his swing plane, I just don't see anything happening there. Great, he's an above-average fielder. I love his energy and his heart, but I just his swing, man, holy cow! I mean, cookies, center cut that he was swinging through.
Don't get me wrong. He had the lowest chase rate, meaning he only swung at balls in the strike zone, and he had the highest swing and miss rate. So it's not good.
It's not good.
But that didn't stop him from having unbelievable seasons. 2.9, 2.5, 3.3, 1.9, 4 years in a row. Those are his wars in Texas.
I wouldn't call them unbelievable. That's kind of believable. Those are believable numbers.
Those are believable, sure. But the home run numbers,
Yeah.
you could probably add. Texas isn't a hitter's park.
Yeah, it is. Ball soars there.
The new stadium.
Both of them. Well, depending on time of day. But
Right. That's the key.
He had 25 home runs at the new Texas Stadium in 95 games. Then he hit 13 in 58 games with the Yankees this year.
Let's put it this way.
Yeah.
The Yankee faithful will get on him very, very quickly.
Oh, they already have.
If he doesn't start out strong.
Yeah.
If he has a tough April,
I know.
it's gonna be trouble for him.
Listen, the fans, they need to calm down. All right?
No.
A little bit.
We gave up a lot. We gave up a lot for Joey Gallo.
Not that much for Joey Gallo.
Which this is his last season under control.
We gave up more for Andrew Heaney, by the way.
We did.
Okay, so
I would
give
argue.
Joey Gallo a break.
You're a big Jansen junk guy. I mean, I can understand thinking that we gave up more for him. But who was the key piece in the Gallo deal? Remind me.
Glenn Otto, he was an
Yeah, Otto,
from Double
okay.
A.
Otto's great.
Otto. Watching him at the Patriots was
Thank
great
you.
too. He led the league in strikeouts for
It was him
for a
and
while.
Gill, or Heel, that were like
Right.
Yeah.
1-2.
Yeah,
For sure. But
Otto.
We gave
okay,
him a
well,
lot.
talk to me in 8 years, and we'll see what Otto does. Because prospects are never a sure thing.
Neither was Joey Gallo.
I get it. I do get it. But I think at the time you had to make the trade. And you know what? The reason why I think that the fans need to take a minute is because they all cried for the trade and they knew what kind of hitter he was. And they all screamed for the trade. So give him a couple
Yeah,
months.
but seeing 4 or 5 at-bats every day, it's one thing, quote-unquote, air quotes, knowing what a hitter is, and then it's another thing when you're watching that guy in big spots swing through cookie-cutter fastballs right down the middle.
Yeah,
of
but
the
these are
plate.
the same people that booed Stanton endlessly, and he's our most clutch hitter over the last 3 seasons.
Yeah.
He's the guy who comes up in big situations and gets hits. It's actually not Judge, and they love Judge. They just don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they're talking
I
about.
see the swing and miss over the heart of the plate, and like really anywhere in the strike zone, I see that. The 213 strikeouts, which led all of Major League Baseball, I see that. That's a tough number to swallow. 111 walks though, which led the AL.
Yeah.
Take a guess. So 111 walks, 213 strikeouts, laughable numbers by the way, strikeout wise. What do you think his on base was, without looking?
It's too late. I looked.
Okay.
385.
It's 351, which is the second best on base percentage he's ever posted in a single season. So he had the 213 strikeouts, but he was still getting on base.
Yeah. He's a 5 hitter though. He's not. I mean, I'm not going to complain with a guy getting on base, but you know, you want your 5 hitter to maybe get some clutch hits in big spots.
Like
And
really
by
bad.
the way, podcast folks, Cere did say the most clutch hitter in the last 3 years, Giancarlo Stanton.
For sure.
I think in big games it has to be.
How do we
Evaluate.
like? There's stats for everything now.
The
Is there a
postseason-
stat for clutch? What is it? 7th inning on? Is it what is it? Can you bring that up? Because I'm gonna have to challenge that. And I would think that even after LeMahieu's subpar year last year, that LeMahieu is our.
You think LeMahieu is?
It has
Most
better
valuable.
quote unquote clutch hits than Stanton. Maybe even Luke Voigt.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll never get over that grand slam against Boston though this year.
Yeah.
Oh, that was great.
And I mean, Stanton in the postseason last year,
He's by far the
was
best,
ridiculous.
best player in the postseason last year.
other than maybe Rosarina. I've given.
Well, no, I'm talking about on the
Yankees, yes.
Yeah, Randy
yes.
Rosarina.
But I mean, I
That
think
Joker.
overall as an offensive hitter, I think Stanton was one of the better hitters in the postseason last year, within all the teams.
I'm pretty sure there's a stat for.
I thought there was too.
But I'm telling you right now, Stanton, he comes up in those spots and he hits more often than you would think he does because of the way that fans treat him. I mean, he had a bunch of walk-offs this season. WPA is high leverage situations.
What's that stand for? WPA.
Sorry, win probability added is WPA.
Oh, that's it.
Which
Win
I have,
probability
yes.
Added.
Win probability added. So it
That's a clutch
quantifies.
statistic.
It quantifies the percent change in a team's chances of winning from one event to the next.
That's interesting.
So the higher your
Well,
WPA
theoretically,
is,
later in the game.
the better your chances are of helping your team win.
Okay.
And which now that we say that,
All right, I'll
does
trust
come
my
back
math
to-
people in the room that this is a viable metric.
Stan had a 2.4 WPA this year. I'm not sure what that really means. Let me look at somebody else here. Pulling up DJ LeMahieu now.
He's going to be over 3 last year.
Last year he had an unbelievable.
So it was sick. So what do you got? 3.2, basically 3.3 overall cum for Stan?
WPA for LeMahieu this year was a 0.0. 2020 was a 0.1. 2019 was a 3.0.
But you gotta remember, LeMahieu was playing through injury this year though, pretty much the entire time.
But last year he won the batting title, which
Yeah.
is interesting.
What's Judge? Give me
That's what I'm
Judge.
looking. Now there's Aaron Judge proving me wrong. Woo! 4.4 this year. 2.8. It's interesting because
He's such a stud.
he really is.
Yeah.
But the thing is, he doesn't get up often with the last to get he hadn't had a walk-off hit in his career until
What, just out of
August.
curiosity, what's Luke Voigt? I bet you his 2019, 2020 are pretty darn good.
Yeah. Let's
2020,
see.
most definitely.
Negative 0.4 this year, 0.4, 1.6.
Huh.
Wow.
Wow. Okay.
Now, I don't know if that means, we haven't seen too many. Let me look up somebody who's destined to be awful.
Check Otani this year. See what he's out.
Okay. I always like to see the formulas for these things because it's interesting. There's so many letters. It's like alphabet soup with these stats. But when you look at the numbers, when you find the formula, they're pretty simple formulas to plug into. Otani was a 5.1 this year.
And Tatis was a 3.9.
And a negative 0.5 the year before. It's definitely a...
Because it's not how
it's
well you do.
give or take, too. Because you might just not get up with the right at bat.
But I don't know what the metrics are
to make the
that
change.
support it. You know, like what goes into it. But
Yeah, it's more of what are you contributing to help your team win, and is it more than the other people on your team? Like if Judge is coming up with runners on second and third, no outs, and Stanton's coming up with, a 3-0 lead and he hits a home run.
which he used to do, I feel like.
A WPA is easy to measure. It's just take the team's win expectancy before the plate appearance and subtract the team's win expectancy after.
Okay. But then, like, what goes into
So-
expectancy?
That's the real question. But I mean,
That's the mathematical.
But this is not
that's
a
probably not
mathematical.
nearly as simple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
I want to see just how bad this stat can be, though.
Oh, because it can go negative, right?
I mean, the lowest we saw was a negative 0.4. Let me look at Clint Frazier. Not to drag him while he's down. Negative 0.9 this year.
You need a guy that's got a lot of plate appearances that isn't doing anything with those plate appearances.
Right. Who plays for the Tigers?
Like Check. I bet all-time worst is Crush Davis for the Orioles last year.
Yeah.
Check Crash Davis's numbers. I bet you hard pressed to find worse numbers than that.
Negative 3.4 in 2018 for Chris Davis.
There you go.
There you go.
Woo! Don't want that.
There's our winner.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And he was making how much money?
That's unbelievable. That makes it even worse.
He's making was it 18
A
million?
poor guy.
Something
I do
like
feel
that. It
bad
was
for
a
the
lot.
guy.
I do feel bad.
Somehow, to lose your mojo that bad.
Yeah.
Can you imagine being like Cere? You're a great teacher, and the next year you come in and you're not only not as good as you were, you're like the
Worst
worst,
of all
teacher
time.
in the state of New Jersey, ever. Can we talk? Can we switch gears a little bit?
Yeah.
Jameson Tyone, when's he coming back?
So he had ankle surgery October 28th of this year. He's out of the boot as he pleases. So he's got a boot on right now. It's up to him, and which I've seen on Twitter, he's kind of doing his own thing with that.
I saw that
Right?
video on Twitter
Yeah,
too.
Cere knows
He's
what I'm
not
talking
taking
about.
steps because he doesn't want to hurt the ankle, so he's just doing the old twist and throw.
I believe he made a joke something about, Cressy, I can't work with Cressy now because of the lockout, so I'm my own judge of when I wear this boot or when I don't.
Yeah, he did.
So it's just kind of, he should be back.
He seems positive that he's coming back.
So he'll
Yeah.
slide in. I mean, maybe we have a 6-man rotation.
Which I want to bring up the depth chart right now and the projected rotation, projected lineup as of Fangraphs just the other day. Rotation right now is Garrett Cole, question marks there, hopefully are little to none. Then Jordan Montgomery, Luis Severino, Nestor Cortez, Domingo Germán.
They gotta sign somebody.
They need
I don't
somebody.
know if it's Rodon or.
Do you sign somebody?
I think you do. I still don't know if
My
I feel
thing is,
comfortable.
What are you doing with these arms?
My issue is I think Cortez is a super valuable bullpen piece that if he's a everyday starter, not everyday starter, but every 5 days starter, we lose that value.
Yeah. And I would even add to that, I've said this before, and I know there are mixed emotions about it. I don't even think Luis Severino should be our number 3 starter right now. He only got so much bullpen time, 2021, and I like his value 2 games out of 3 in a series. I think he's much more valuable going 2 or 3 innings every 2 days or 2 out of 3 games than he is 5 or 6 every 5 days.
Yeah, no, I don't think so, Nick. He's proven that he can be an ace. He can be an ace.
I think
And
the minute
value,
you have
we
somebody-
say Andrew Haney's getting 8.5. It's always going to come back to Andrew Haney getting 8.5 million for a year.
I just
How
don't wanna
much
push it
teams are
too
willing to
big.
pay for a big arm that can go 6, 7 innings every 5 days to give him the ball? I agree.
Yeah.
I think we got him over 200 innings, didn't we? A couple of years ago before his arm blew out. Did he see 200 innings?
He was the ace in 18.
So you build him back. I don't know what their innings limit it's going to be on him, but that's
I
why
think you have to try and see him as a starter.
You do.
The value in starter, especially, we don't even know what the CBA is going to look like. There's talk that this CBA is going to have totally incentivizing starting more than 6 innings now. Whatever change, I know that's a big talk in the league. What can we change in the rules to make it so starters have value again, right? Somebody who can throw 6 innings versus 4 or 5 has more value, And the bullpen rules is what they're looking at for the most part. But.
Sevy went 6 innings in 4 games 2021. 6 innings. I would love to see him as a starter. I just think April to start him every 5th day and have him be our number 3 starter right out of the gate might be early. He's fine to start. I just wouldn't trust the depth to make him 3rd.
Maybe 120 innings. I don't know.
I don't know. The depth to trust Sevy at 3rd. He might be one of the best 3rd starters in the league.
Coming out of 6 innings,
Certainly
this year,
has the potential.
and Tommy John. He does have the potential.
He has the potential.
I don't know if as right now. 17 and 18, he went 193 innings and 191, respectively, inning wise. He went 14 and 6 in 2017 win loss wise. Win loss record in 2018 was 19 and 8. I'm not saying he's not going to be great for us. I just don't know. I think when there are free agents available and Cashman's talking saying he's going to spend money, why not add a guy just in case?
I do agree adding a guy, but for me, it's to move Nestor to the bullpen.
That works too.
I don't know.
Because you have to assume injuries. That's the thing. You have to assume injuries.
Yep.
You hate it, but you can't just go into the season.
Nestor
with
made
5.
me a believer. I'm a Nestor, a nasty Nestor believer. I don't know. I think you let him. I think you give him the ball every 5 days. Look at those numbers, 2.90.
No, he was absolutely
He was,
solid.
and he also stepped up in big games
Yep.
for us.
Oh, huge.
August 20th, 2021. I was there. Yankees versus Twins. He started for us. The Yankee Stadium was shaking. He was great.
No, he's a fan favorite.
Look
He
at
is.
his strikeout to walk ratio too. It's money.
Yeah.
4 to 1.
Oh,
I mean,
It's better than, not better than Cole's, but it's close.
close.
And to be close to Garrett Cole
Yeah.
is what you want.
75 hits. I mean, look at his whip is almost under 1. That's phenomenal. I mean,
He had a phenomenal season.
he did.
Yeah. I want to throw names out. You guys let me know. So
Let's go rapid fire. Is this what you're calling this rapid fire,
Yeah,
Nick? Is
so-
that what we're calling this round?
yeah. So
Alright,
we're
go.
looking just back the rotation really quick. We have Cole, Montgomery, Severino, Cortez, Herman. So do you feel comfortable leaving it that way, getting Tyone back, probably April or May, after the foot injury? Or do you want Rodon, Kershaw, Greinke, Yusei Kikuchi, or Luis Castillo? Do you want any of those guys, or any of those enticing enough to go out and make an offer?
Kershaw would be interesting, but if Andrew Haney's getting $8.5 million,
What's Kershaw getting?
what is Kershaw getting?
I'm actually not interested in Kershaw at all. The end goal is to win a World Series. He's going to be injured.
How old is Kershaw? 36.
36. I'm not really interested in Greinke at his age.
No way. Not even Greinke is
Castillo moves the needle for me.
Castillo's interesting.
But is
Castillo.
we got to trade for Castillo.
Right.
That's a problem. That's where Rodon comes in. He's a free agent.
Kershaw's 33.
Feels like he's 90 because he gets
Feels like
injured
he's
every
90.
year.
He's turning 34.
Rodon, you have the same injury concerns with.
Right.
Right. There's injuries across the board, and that's our downfall.
Yeah,
So do you grab someone, or do you
clearly the guy on the outs, if we bring anybody in, is Herman. He's easily a swing guy into the bullpen.
But again, you got to. This isn't 1957 where every one of these starters is going to last the whole season and pitch 9 innings every game.
Yeah.
You got to have 7 starters in 2021, 2022. You have to. It's maybe 8.
But we haven't even talked Heel yet.
Clark Schmidt,
Where's Heel?
Heel. That's a great question.
Yeah.
Heel's a stud.
Heel is really good. I love Heel.
He's got great stuff.
Clark Schmidt's disappointing.
Clark Schmidt is
But he
still
could
in the
be great.
conversation.
This is his last year to test.
Number 3 ranked Yankee prospect, I believe.
He's got to show something. What's your next heavy hitter here? What's your next speed round?
We'll go outfield because we sort of touched on before Jock Peterson. So our projected starter is Aaron Hicks in center, which
Listen, you don't love it, but you know what? It's going to happen because he knows stuff about Brian Cashman that we don't. And Cashman doesn't want to get out.
Yeah, and the same argument that Cere made about, and you, Nick, about on-base percentage with Joey Gallo. You can say the same about Hicks.
Yeah.
He's an OBP guy as well. You know, switch hitter, plays a decent center field. You know, when he's on the field, when he's healthy, he's a good ball player, but I don't know. I don't get excited about Aaron.
He's an
Hicks.
okay
I
ball
don't either.
player. When he was on the field this year, he wasn't good. 194,
Yeah, but how many at-bats, though?
190, 126.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he was playing most of those through injury.
Yeah,
So, like, you know, take the COVID shortened season. What do you do in 2020? And then what do you do in 2019? Throw me some Aaron Hicks numbers.
So what do you want to go back to?
Just give me 2019 numbers.
2019, he hit 235, 12 home runs, 36 RBIs, 769 OPS, 325 on base.
325 on base. That's it, huh?
That's it.
I'm telling you right now.
31 walks and 72 strikeouts.
All right.
He
What
wasn't
was his
even walking.
2020?
2020, he had 225 average, 41 walks, 38 strikeouts, 793 OPS, 379 on base, 6 home runs, 21 ribbies.
379 on base.
And
you know,
169.
Brian
at-bats.
Cashman has infused propaganda into your head to make you think that Aaron Hicks had better seasons
He's
than
not.
he did.
He's
No,
not
nobody
good.
thinks. I don't think anybody thinks that. I just, you know, it's the fact that he was signed to a 5-year.
I saw your
90
face
million.
when he was giving you those stats. You're like, oh no, I forgot.
With the second he signed, no. Listen, I didn't think Nick was going to give me good stats on Aaron Hicks. I just thought the on-base percentage was going to be a little bit better than 340 and
325.
Yeah,
70,
325 and
whatever it was.
379.
Yeah.
And it's never been higher than 379. That was his
Yeah.
peak. And that was in a shortened season where he got
Yeah.
169 ABs.
Yeah. I don't know. You know, it's when you think about our outfield, when you think about our team, I don't get very excited.
Yeah.
I don't mean to bring the podcast down here, Nick. But
I think there's so many weak spots.
there's
The depth
weak
is
spots.
terrible.
There's aging, injury risk spots.
Our team could be, theoretically, if every one of these guys has their best season, undoubtedly the best team in the league. But they could also be the undoubtedly worst team in the league.
And they can
That's
still,
how up and down every player on this roster is.
even if everyone's healthy, it still comes down to, are they better than the Blue Jays? When all the Blue Jays are
Listen,
healthy,
a
are they
serious
better
point.
than?
If Stanton has a 2016 Stanton season, Judge has a 2017 Judge season, and Cole has any other season that he had except for this past year, that alone is huge. Gio, DJ, those guys both of them are capable of hitting 300 with 20 home runs.
Yeah. And Gallo, if Gallo has
If Gallo can hit 240,
30 homers, 35.
I don't even think it matters how much he hits. If he hits,
no, I don't want to
If
see
he
him
hits
hit
200.
I don't want to see him hit 200, man. I can't.
but
deal
if
with
he
that.
does and he hits 35 home runs, at the end of the day, he's having that's a 3-WAR season.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, especially if he's hitting
Can we talk about the elephant in the room, please?
first base.
Gary Sanchez.
And they're not.
He's
They're
gonna be
not
your
doing
starting
it.
And Kyle Higashioka.
He's gonna
Sanchez
be
will be there until his contract is done, if not longer.
There's not enough options out there to move that are good enough to either move prospects, and good catchers just don't hit free agency because good catchers don't exist. I mean, Real Muto did, but unfortunately, Real Muto hit free agency at a time where we were still uncertain about Sanchez for the last 5 years.
Yeah. Sanchez, in a good year, is going to be a top 3 offensive catcher. Defensively, we just have to bite the bullet, I think, and we just suck it up and take Higashioka every 5th day. For Cole, even
Not every 5th day, though, Nick. Higashioka's all of a sudden catching Tyone, then he's catching. I mean, it's interesting. So, all right, other elephant, first base.
right. And what I don't like at all is that we have limited options at first base, other than
It's
right
really
now,
limited.
other than Luke Voigt, who's currently on the team, and Miguel Andujar.
Is
who's-
Voigt still on our team? Is he still a Yankee?
He
He's still a
still
Yankee.
exists in pinstripes as of right now.
Listen, I think
He's
in
under
there.
contract?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's a legit question. He is actually
Wow.
a Yankee.
I think
Wow.
that
Didn't know that.
I think that Luke Voigt is a really good baseball player and could be a great piece to this team.
I think he's...
So in the...
I'm not saying he should. I
in
think we
in
need a
Major League
lefty.
Baseball or in the Somerset County men's slow pitch softball league?
I think Major League
Oh,
Baseball.
all right.
I think
Interesting.
he's
'Cause
slightly
I don't think
above...
he can. I don't think he can stay healthy for more than
Right.
60 games next year.
He's slightly above the equivalent of Gary Sanchez, just in the sense where he, in a good year, he produces well offensively, but defensively, you're going to be okay with whatever he does, but he's not going to make every play. Hey, which is fine, because we're going to take offensive.
Listen, I
defensive
love
value.
Voigt. I love his fire.
I do too.
The guy can't stay healthy.
Yeah.
Interesting stat there during the break. I found Sanchez. We talk all this smack, and yeah, he's not a great hitter. But in reference to catchers around the league, he had a 99 WRC plus this year. Okay, that's right about average of all baseball players. Catchers average for WRC plus is like a 77. So for a catcher, he's not that bad.
Yeah.
There are worse in the league. Now defensively, that's a whole other story. I don't think his defense is as bad, even though he's on one knee, which is ridiculous. But, and I just had Luke Voigt stats up for you, Story.
What do you got for me?
When he plays, I know your biggest issue is that he's not going to be healthy. But when he plays, he's a super valuable hitter.
Just right there, while you're pulling the stats up, just when he plays is the issue, because right now the only players that we have on the team that play first are Luke Voigt, Miguel Andújar, who was a bench guy going as of Fangraphs, and then DJ LeMahieu, who's
Yeah.
probably going to spend time at third if we don't get a shortstop. Gio Urshela's going to play time at shortstop, or whatever. DJ LeMahieu's going to start when you gave him a 6-year deal
Yeah.
for, what was it, 15 a year? He's going to start. We're not going to sit him as a utility man.
Yeah, he's
So-
going to start. He probably will start a bunch of games at first base. I don't
Yeah.
love that,
I don't want that either.
but
Especially when we don't have a single first base prospect projected to begin above AA to start this season.
yeah.
Gatins is gone. We let him go. I don't know why we still had him up until a couple weeks ago. Luke Voigt's got to stay healthy because I don't think we want DJ at first unless we really have to
I
just.
think they're either going to sign Rizzo. Rizzo really wants to come back.
He does. Rizzo was doing charity events in a Yankee shirt.
Yeah, he's made it very clear.
Yeah.
He's answering questions about how much he wants to be back.
He told Ian Happ he would take a discount to be on the Yankees.
Yeah.
Which is,
The question is Rizzo...
do we want him?
Listen, I like Rizzo. I think he's a good leader. I think he's a great defensive first baseman, but his offensive stats were not great. In terms of value brought to the team, let me see what his... I mean, he had a .5 WAR in his short time with the Yankees, which isn't terrible.
0.5 WAR with the Yankees, 1.7 on the year.
Yeah. He really is, he's a good leader, he's a great player. We know he's got what he needs to win a championship. But how old? He's 32. I think he's worth a couple years. I don't know what he's going to require, though, on the market.
I think it certainly brings a question to the table now that we can discuss, but Cashman is still on we're going to spend money, we're going to make this team better. If you're not going to trade for Olsen, which we can talk about, but if you're willing to spend money and Freddie Freeman is only demanding $180 for 6 years, $30 million a year, yeah, then you have Stanton and Cole and Judge all making a lot, and it's going to be an old team. But Freddie Freeman's production is still very current for his age. You get a left-handed first baseman in, I think you could work with Freeman and be successful there, even when you're in the 4th, 5th, 6th year of his deal.
Sorry, missed the conversation about Freeman. I was busy talking to Brian Cashman's associate on the phone, trying to shake him down, get some information. So I think Freeman's there's no chance. No chance we sign Freeman. Is that the consensus in the room?
The chances of us actually landing him are slim to none, but I think if he's looking to leave Atlanta, which I know he's not, but if
No
he's
way.
listening to offers somewhere else, and he will accept 6 for 180,
Listen.
then maybe.
I'd give him 7 for 3,000.
Back up. Back up. We have a huge. You want to talk character? You want to talk character guys? Historical character guys. It's Aaron Judge. You cannot let this guy
Get away.
And they will.
So you can't sign a guy like Freeman.
But once you start
can't
signing
sign-
guys, that's the problem with the Correa thing. Like, once you, yes, Steinbrenner has all this money, but at the end of the day, regardless of whether we want him to or not, he cares about the luxury tax.
Yeah, but we don't
At the
know what
end-
that is right now with the CBA. We don't know if that
Right,
changes.
but it's not going to be. I mean,
Like-
if we
No,
had
but
signed,
here's what you do know: you're throwing a ton of money at Aaron Judge,
Yeah.
and you have to, and that's the end of the story. He's a free agent after next year.
they should have signed him last year.
Well, they should have signed him 3 years ago, like the Rays did with
Franco.
whatever.
Yeah.
It's,
Still
it's,
Franco.
it's what the Yankees. The Yankees. I think Cashman. You can say this about pretty much anybody. Happened to Tiger Woods. I don't think it ever happened to Michael Jordan, honestly. Basically, if your name is not Michael Jordan, it's happened to you as an athlete. You lose that fire. You lose that edge.
Yeah.
I think Cashman got so used to being awesome that he was one of the best GMs historically. One of the best. He's just kind of lost it. I feel like he's lost it. So
Yeah.
the smart move would have been Aiken Judge. Imagine that, like 7 years, 150 million.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what the Mets with DeGrom.
Yeah.
Guess what? They have one of the best pitchers of all time, and his deal is so small compared to what we see coming out. What's he making? Like,
The Mets actually finally made a good organizational move, financial move.
it was amazing. And I remember he was literally like injured when they made the move.
I still can't get over Wander Franco. Still.
No, that
Wander Franco's
the Wander Franco's
ridiculous.
going to hunt us for the rest of our lives.
And the fact that he's in division with a newly established rival over the course of the last couple seasons
That
is
kid is such a stud.
absolutely terrible.
5 years, $137 million for Jacob DeGrom.
All right, it was only 5 years.
Yeah. Which, Jacob DeGrom's not young. So he
30,
needed to be
33?
10 years.
32.
He's 33. He's an old 33.
Yeah, he is.
You know, and he's got more injury history than you could imagine. So the 5-year deal was smart. The Mets finally made a good decision.
The
And
Mets can somehow back their way to the playoffs. They are scary.
No, they're super scared.
They are.
I thought they were scary this year, but they just crumble. They crumble whenever they have the chance. But their pitching staff.
Imagine if Scherzer DeGrom won too when they're both healthy.
Oh my gosh.
That's like.
yeah.
Followed by Taiwan Walker if he's still pitching well. Luckily, they
Did you
lost.
just mention Taiwan Walker in
No,
the same breath?
Taiwan,
Scherzer and-
not
Okay.
same breath. It shouldn't have been the same breath, but Taiwan Walker is a good number 3 starter.
Solid 3.
He had a good year last year.
Yeah.
Had a couple of floundering years, and
They
believe
were
me,
lucky.
I chased the Cinderella baseball stories. Chased one Taiwan Walker about 5 years ago.
Somebody sounds a little hurt.
Oh, he was a keeper. Didn't work out well for me. Seattle
Oh.
Mariners, I think. That's what
Yep.
we
Yeah.
came up with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Franco got 11 years, 182 million.
Yeah, that's just.
which that
That's
is
how does
ridiculously
anybody let that
low.
happen? How does how does his agent let that happen?
Yeah, I don't know how.
It's unbelievable.
What is that? 17 million a year? What a joke! I'm disgusted. We're gonna have to play him for 11 years now.
Yeah.
Plus.
Yep.
And then guess what? At the end of those 11 years, he's gonna be 30.
And the Yankees will sign him to a
And he'll be terrible.
$900,000 million deal.
Yeah, I think trading for Olsen, everybody's dream, it seems crazy. Who are you giving up?
They'll ask for Heel.
They'll
ask
cry
for-
because
Heel-
oh, we have to trade for Olsen, and then what? Every
Heel
people have
and one
to
of the
give up.
shortstop prospects.
Yankees fans are like, okay, we'll give you Andujar, and we'll re-sign Frazier, so
Right.
you can have Frazier. Take Andujar and Frazier, and,
Right,
and you
Yankees
can have
are-
Olsen.
I think if the A's are gonna give up Olsen to us, it's gonna be Heel, a shortstop prospect, either Peraza or Volpe, and Luke Voigt.
It's like take Aaron Hicks to balance the contract.
And then maybe something else. But I think at least Heel and a shortstop prospect, without question, are going to be included in that. But if Cashman can do something, or if they can get something
Listen,
without
if
shortstop in there,
it's Clark Schmidt and one of the shortstop prospects,
It's going
I
to be
might be willing to do
Peraza,
it.
Clark Schmidt, Luke Voigt,
I might be.
and then a bag of chips. And
It
then
would be
some-
Luke
and,
Voigt.
and probably some money.
yeah.
Yeah.
Although Olsen's not making a lot.
And Olsen's saying what, through 2024? Or just be this year and one more?
He's second-year arbitration eligible. The way baseball plays their players is ridiculous.
What's Olsen making?
He's making $12 million in 2022.
Wow.
So, next to nothing considering his worth. 27 years old, gonna be
Wow.
turning 28.
And when does he hit the open market? Isn't that not even next year?
Arbitration 3 in 2023, and then free agent in 2024.
Ridiculous. And he'll be.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh my gosh.
the A's aren't gonna get the A's. You're the A's right now. What are you doing?
You got to trade him.
Yeah.
You're not gonna be able to sign him.
This
Do
team
the
is
A's
rebuilding.
compete? Do the A's have a team to compete?
I
No,
don't think so.
nowhere
They fired
close.
Bob Melvin. I think they're going full.
They're
They signed Marte at the end of last year. He's gone.
they're on the verge of maybe changing stadiums. I think they just want something.
Would you give up Hill? Either one of you for him?
I want to give up Schmidt. I don't want to give up Peel. I like him too much.
No, I gotta do
warmed-
Hill.
He's warmed my
I
heart.
think-
I'm Billy Bean. I gotta do Hill. You include Hill, then we can talk.
Heel and who?
Well, I'm thinking Ball.
That's
No,
that's.
I'm not doing
I
that.
think at that point you just sign Rizzo.
You sign Rizzo and you keep
All right.
Mayhew.
I got it. Volpe's your guy. Let's go. Let's starters. We'll go Peraza, and we'll go Heel, and then I like that kid that you got. Like an Austin Wells. Awful.
Oh, absolutely not.
There's no way.
Listen.
There's no
I'm
way.
all for having a great player like Matt Olson, but the impact of one player, and when you take the difference between Rizzo and Matt Olson, that's one player in a lineup of 9 spots. He's getting up if he plays every single inning of every single game.
I'll tell you what. You can save Heel. I don't want Heel anymore. I don't want Austin Wells, but I would like still Peraza, and I'd like Jason Dominguez.
I would be.
I don't think so.
I'd be a little more interested than any of the other offers. I think I would accept that before I would accept anything
The
else.
Martian, you're willing to get rid of the Martian?
But how bad did he just do this year? He can't prospect hug forever.
Wow, you giving up on Dominguez already?
The Martian.
This is this new generation, Cere.
No,
So
He's
much.
Gen. What are you? What are you anyway? A Gen
Instant
Z?
gratification is
What
what
is
they
he?
need.
What is he? Gen.
Double A.
Double A.
Yeah.
Come on, Nick.
And
You're giving up
start
on
going through
Dominguez?
the-
He's 18 years old.
He is.
He's the Martian.
He's your age.
I would love to keep
He's
him.
gonna
but
he's gonna be part of the 50-50 club.
Come on, didn't they say the next Mickey Mantle?
They
They
did.
did. They said like
Next
next
Mike
year
Trout?
Trout.
He's gonna literally
combined.
be in the 50-50 club.
I hope so. I hope so.
Wow. So Volpe's untouchable.
I think Volpe's untouchable.
To me, I just think giving up 2 of those prospects, because here's the deal, right? Not all the prospects are gonna hit, but one of them is.
And
you
whichever
don't
you
wanna-
keep is gonna be the one that
You
misses.
don't want to give away the one that
Yep.
that hits.
You gotta win now.
You have to win now, but is the difference between Olsen and Rizzo that huge when you're talking about one batter in nine at bats?
Rizzo's gonna get paid. He's gonna get paid.
Rizzo, I don't think so.
What's Rizzo's?
If he's gonna take a
22.5?
No.
No.
I don't think he gets that much.
I don't think he
Who
gets
just
that much
got-
at all.
Did the first baseman just get signed? I feel like somebody just like of his caliber just got inked. Maybe I'm making that up.
No prominent first baseman.
No.
Chris Taylor, but he's not.
Yoshitomo Susuga, that's who you're talking
Oh.
about.
Oh, there you go.
1 for $4 million. First base active player contracts. Let's check it out. Votto, 10 years, average 22.5, and that's from a long time ago.
Yeah.
Who's the most recent? Goldschmidt signed 2020 at an AAV of 26 million.
But Rizzo's
No,
nowhere
dude.
close to.
No, he's not. But I didn't say he was. I said
No,
Rizzo's
yeah.
going to be coming around 20.
Jose
I'd
Abreu
say
signed
15.
in 2020. This is a steal, 16.6 million.
That's absurd.
That's a steal.
I'd say Rizzo.
Who let that
before
happen?
even hearing that which is
Are
a
you
ridiculous
kidding me?
number.
That's
I'd say
the
Rizzo gets
stupidest thing
15.
I've
Are you kidding me?
That's I'm actually angry right now.
Abreu should not have only gotten.
Rizzo
16.
played for $6 million last year.
Did he really?
That was
Yeah,
a contract
I
he
don't-
signed in 2013.
Oh, that the last year.
7 years for $41 million.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
Rizzo's gonna
Talk
want
about the value they got out
Yeah,
of it.
Rizzo's going to want to get paid.
Thank you guys.
That was awesome, Nick.
It was. Thank you very much.
I'm thinking, I missed my calling here.
I know,
I
right?
got to be on 660. I could do this all day long.
660 is the worst station of all time.
All right. Thank you.